we are gonna be starting off with all of these things. We're gonna starting off with our LeetCode grinding. Okay, it contains duplicate, so let's create a problem.md. Let's create a new file. I think it's called custom file problem. Problem.md, and yeah, it's gonna be it. Paste our code in here, duplicate code, do this example, and this is gonna be a okay. So this is what we were working with. Given an integer array number, return true if any value appears more than once in the array. Otherwise, we are going to return false. Okay. So how do we do this? Given an array of numbers, return true if any value appears more. I think this is quite simple. We just have to use a map. It's quite obvious at this point. Just have a map. If while iterating, we're adding an item to the map. If we encounter something that is already existing in the map, then we just do it. Okay, yeah, so let's do a solution. Let's do it. Solution contains duplicate solution 1. That'll be our code. Okay, I hope you can see this properly. I'm not even sure if you can see this. Okay, name LeetCode progress. Contains duplicate. Is it valid? I think it's valid. Okay, it is valid. So this is where we are going to be doing dot easy dot contains duplicate. I think this is the duplicate integer. Oh, it's duplicate integer. And yeah, there we go. Let's also rename this to where is my file? Duplicate integer. Delete this. We don't need this. This that we're working with. And yeah, let's do it. So we have a class. We are going to have a bunch of C# or C#. Yeah. So this is our solution, and we are just gonna paste number in here. The function, okay, has duplicate. So how are we going to do this? We also have some test cases, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think these two are the only test cases. Int nums, right? Then we have a public static void main in here. Public static void main. Can we run this? I think we can run this, right? I don't think we can. You know what? We'll figure it out later. For now, let's just focus on the code. Okay. So return duplicate. I think we can have a dictionary of we're not gonna be using autocomplete. Int. Okay, int and int. We don't really need this. Let's do this. Dictionary numbers. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna be iterating every single number, and when we encounter a number, we're just gonna get rid of it. Contains. Okay, so yeah, the reason we use, okay, yeah, let's just we use dictionary, use a map instead of array, because search time in array is O of n. Okay, because it iterates from the first element and continues until it finds the number. In array, we can get the element directly using at O of 1 speed. Okay. For each var v in nums, what we want to do is we have a num, right? If what is that called? Number that contains key. The key is gonna be v return false. That duplicate is gonna be return true, and then return false. Okay, if true, if not, numbers dot add. So we are gonna be adding this to the numbers hash map. V, let's just keep it at 1. Okay. So what we are doing is, if the key already exists, it means that the number is already present in the array. So what we are doing here is iterating the numbers, and for every single number, we are checking if it exists in the map. If it does exist in the map, it means that we already encountered this number once. So we are just going to return a true, which means that the number there's duplicates in this array. So I'll just write it down. Iterate the nums, and if the element present in map, then we already encountered it. So we already, that means we have already means that it is a duplicate. Okay. So I think what about a time complexity? What is going to be the time complexity? The worst case, right? O of n, I think. O of n. I think we'll figure it out later. So let's just return this and see if this works. Okay. This works. This is the most used shortcut in VS Code. Are you talking about VS Code shortcuts? Fuck man, it doesn't support. The feature collection literal is currently in free preview and unsupported. Okay, fuckers, doesn't even support. So LeetCode duplicate integer. Okay, I'll show you. I'm just gonna paste this one and then I'll show you a couple of what do you call that, shortcuts. And I'm also trying to practice explaining as I code, because when you're working or when you are going to be in an interview, they are gonna want you to explain what you're doing step by step. Solution does not contain a find duplicate, blah 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 blah. Okay, what is your problem? You find duplicate. Oh, why does it return int? What the fuck? Okay, given array and integer is in this video we'll solve the problem with modifying the array and uses only constant extra spaces. I see. So this one's gonna be a bit more different, I think. Why is it medium? The fuck, this was supposed to be easy. Anyways, it's quite easy to solve. I'm not sure how did I end up here. Can't we just, I mean, it's quite simple as well. Where's my code? All.md, we're gonna paste here. Given an array of integer containing n+1 integer, where each integer is in range 1, n, there is only one repeated number in the numbers. Return this repeated number. You must solve this problem without modifying the array and using only constant extra space. What the fuck does that mean? What does uses only constant extra space mean? I'm not sure what that means. Okay, the constraint is 1 is less than or equal to n. So n has to be 1 or 105, and the length is going to be n plus 1. All the integer in the number appear only once except for precisely one integer. Okay, so yeah, it's quite it's pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna copy this and I'm going to paste this here. Okay, find duplicate. So just like before, we're going to have a map of int, and we're just gonna call this map. Okay, and we're going to iterate var v in num, but this is not a good practice. Okay, you have to call this num. Whatever the plural is, you have to use its singular. For example, if you have a list of, no, not list, let's say you have a list of children, right? Children. Then whenever you are looping this, you have to use for each var child in children. So we use the singular term in here, child, in children. This is the plural. So your list always has to be in plural form, and whenever you are iterating, each element should be referred in a singular term. That is a good knowledge to have. It's a bad practice to name variables as A, B, and C. Shortcuts, I have a date. The shortcut to a good date is to take her to a good room and do what you need to do with or without consent. Doesn't really matter. Fuck, dude. If map.contains, there's no shortcut, to be honest. To hide this panel, you can use Control B. That's it. And then I think I told you about selecting stuff. You can use like triple clicks to select the whole line. It's like this. Double click to select that specific word, and the what else, and then you can control left click to take you somewhere that's gonna be, you know, important. For example, if I hold control and click on dictionary, it's going to take me to the dictionary class, just like this. And this is a class that's made by C# developers. Okay, contains key, and what are we looking for? We are gonna be looking for num. If contains, then return num. If not, we are gonna map.add. What we are gonna be adding is num, and its frequency is gonna be 0. That's 1. We will never reach this part. Okay. Good morning, Black Shush, shush. Shush. Okay, so we can get rid of these. We can check if this is even working. Let's run this. And I think it should pass on the first test. Yeah, it's quite simple. We don't really have to do anything. Yeah, it's quite fast. But I don't know about the time complexity. So I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT. Like, I'm going to guess a time complexity, but I want to be sure. Okay, so it's iterating every single array, and at the very worst case, it's going to be the last element, so O of n. And accessing the items in map is O1, so it should be O0. So is this valid? Is this valid? Is this O of time complexity correct? Loop through the O n, dictionary of n, yes, O n. That is good. That is good because, okay, because accessing element in map is O1, and iterating array is n. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, so the first problem is done, but I think it's best if I make test cases. How can I have test cases in the same file? C#. LeetCode deck. Yeah, there may be so much here. Yeah, quite interesting though. I love solving problems like this. N unit, right? N unit. N unit. Okay, it's called N unit. Let's have this package installed. So let's go in here. No, I think we need to go here. LeetCode, right? Existing project. Add negative package. What do you call that? N unit. Also, the reason why I use VS Code is because look at these. Look at the background. It looks so nice. Wait a minute. What's running in my background? Yeah, you can see that my background is transparent. So anything that's in my background, it's moving. So it looks nice. And unit. Yes, let's have this. Let's have the latest version. We are going to use this to create our test cases. Now, test cases are important because you want to test your code if it works in every scenario. Also, we have to change contains duplicate number. Okay. And then we have to also duplicate number, and this one is also going to be duplicate number. Okay, looks good enough. Now I need to find a way to be able to use my, what do you call that, edit necessary, write your test function, duplicate finder. Okay, this is the test fixture. Let's see. That's how we do that. We have we're gonna create a class similar to this, and we're gonna call this test. I think we have to mark this as test. Test, right? I don't think we can. Okay, test class. Is there anything test case or something like that? I think we don't even need this, man. What if we just have a function public void ggec and then we mark it as test? Does it work? Okay. Assert dot fail. So if I run this code, shouldn't do anything. Okay, why did it fail? And I hate VS Code for this reason. It's so unintuitive to work with. Delay. I don't know where to remove that. I think I have to do that when before I set up my project. Yeah, sorry, my stream. Okay, main does not contain a static function. Okay, I think public static void main. Let's do this. Static void main. Oh, we can just call it int main. I think that is turn 0, or we can just have it a void function. Void main should be good enough. Yeah, it's working, but what I want to do is I want to run our test cases, which is not happening. Okay, is this a valid test? Okay, there's a bunch of test cases. Okay, we have a bunch of nice test cases. That is amazing. But the other problem I have is, how am I supposed to run these test cases? How can I run these test cases? Go to test explorer. I see. Where's the test? There's no run. Okay, testing, it's here. I mean, it's there, but how do I test using this thing? Unit. Open the command palette, new projects, just library, from terminal, the following. Oh, such a pain in the ass, dude. Fuck off, man. Not intuitive at all. This is not intuitive. I don't like this. We have a bunch of test cases, but there's no actual way to test them. There's no way to test them. Test results. There's no way to test them. Although I know that this is correct because this was quite simple. Anyways, let's move on to the next project. Next problem. We contains duplicate, valid. This is anagram. Valid anagram. Let's move to this one. Valid anagram. Is anagram. Let's do LeetCode.com. Okay, it's not a valid one. Na, 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 na. Okay, given two strings s and t, return true if t is an anagram of s and false otherwise. An anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letter of different words and phrases, typically using all the original letter exactly once. Okay, I see. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, how do I select this valid anagram? What the fuck, dude? Copy this, move to our project. What's wrong with the dependency? Close all, and yeah, so let's add another one. It's gonna be valid anagram. Is it right? I think that's the name of the valid anagram. Yeah, valid anagram. So we're going to create a readme. Paste this. Easy topic, companies, blah blah blah. Okay, given two strings s and a, return true if t is an anagram of s and otherwise. Okay, so okay, let's think about this. How are we going to approach this? But let's create a full class first. Valid anagram. Okay, it's gonna be bool, and let's put this. Okay, it's anagram. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do? We can use map again, I think. Yeah, we can do map. Anagram is a word. True if an anagram of s and false otherwise found by range of letter. Exactly what we want. I see. We can just use maps, dude. This one's quite simple as well. So we can iterate is a two string if t is an anagram. Okay, so t is s. So we have s, right? we can store this in a map, and then we can iterate this and check if n is present. Okay, now we can store the frequency. We can store the frequency of each of this number. And then okay, so what if we have a test case? What if there is what do you call that? What if there's 2 or more of that thing? Frequency is gonna be once, blah 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 blah. Yeah, shouldn't be that hard. Okay, let's go with the approach. I think the approach that I'm gonna go with is let's see. So the approach, let's do this first. Yeah. So first we can store the store each character and its frequency in a map, okay, of s. So we have a string s, right? We're going to iterate every single character and then store it in a map. Okay, store it in the map with the frequency. Tama. Tama. Kaya ko. Ano din blur, zag blur. Nini post office से फाइल करता तम खरीद ना या खरीदी खरीदी nini शिने जाना लॉगिन खरीदी एक बार खता nini फोन लॉगिन खरीदी रखा ना खरीदी पासवर्ड लरी में या कितने में शिंग से आप रंग में खबर ब्ले Juno rah kabar agro Juno.
Đâu cái của dạng nó đâu.
Ndo buros hok pa yang palama yang.
Cái mà tới mà xin này. Cái đồ dùng cái đồ dùng là sao ta thì cái gì. Sao cái này nhỉ? Tao dùng ile thì nó sẽ 16.
Ui chụp rang nanti khai male. Ang may banyo riang itong. Sang 3 bar sudo pin ri mano. Ang may berfan riak wang.
Cái đồ dùng cái sao cái này nhỉ? 11 June cái tin 16. Cái paro tero.
Ini shin zan photo ro dia ba. Nama na ri horana.
Ang kailangan ko tanay. Gusto bisa kana. To
ko pin ro thik yedu ba 79005 number. LeetCode khai tong LeetCode problem solve khai tong ani mami do LeetCode khai tong do ang code khai tong da problem solve finish ro lên hoka
tao có để thấy không ta
khai tong na tagi siya
mà số kia da
pero syllabus ni bro kina sa
ngon sila at isa nó không rồi xin boss mình nó na dorani boss mình
kaya bahari thang na ba tau code sa khai tong pa
nên nhà tôi pass cái này được
đúng rồi tao na ri assignment ro khai nya tong tai. Okay, so store each character and its frequency in a map of S. Okay, so we're storing frequency, then iterate t, and for every character we find, decrement the frequency. Chido. Yeah, so the solution that we're going to go for is first we are going to store we're going to iterate every single character in S and then store it in a map. So we're going to store the character and the frequency of that character. By frequency, what I mean is the number of times that that character repeats itself in that string. So what we can do is we can have a dictionary of let's say char and int. We call this map. This is going to be this kind of array. So for each var c in S, okay, so we're iterating the string, and if map.contains key. If the map already contains this character that we are iterating, then we are just going to increment the frequency by 1. So what we're going to do is a map c plus equal to 1. We're incrementing it by 1. Else, if this is not in the map yet, then we are going to add this new record, new key. C, and the frequency is going to be 1. So we are iterating and adding this record. Okay. So once we're done with that, now we have our map. Now we have the thing. Now we want to iterate t. Okay. So if okay, so now we're iterating t. Now for every single element that we are in t, we want to check if that element is if the character is in the map. So if map that contains key, and the key that we are looking for is c, is equals to false, then we want to return false, because if it doesn't contain that, it is absolutely going to be false. Okay, so if this is the case, then we are, but if it does contain, then we are going to decrement the frequency by 1, map c minus equal to 1. Okay, and then we're going to return, and it's going to keep on going and going. So at the end, we're going to return true. With so after iterating every single character of t, if all of the characters are present, then we can return true. So to repeat the whole algorithm again, we have a map where we are going to store every single character that is in S and the frequency. So we are iterating S, and for every single character, we are storing them in the map and along with its frequency. The key is going to be the character itself, and the value is the frequency, the number of time that that character appears. Okay, and then we are iterating t string, and for every single character, we are checking if this character exists in the map. If it doesn't exist, then we are gonna remove it from the array. If map c is equals to 0, map dot remove b. Okay, yeah, this is basically it. So based on this, we can determine the time complexity. So the time complexity, PPLE complexity, is gonna be, let's see, we are iterating as once, so O of n, and then we are also iterating t1, so it's gonna be n, O of n, and then we are accessing once, so it's gonna be O of 1. It's gonna be here. So based on this, we can say O of n, 2n is our time complexity. So let's copy this and try to paste it here. Let's run this. Accept it. Perfect. So submit this. A. Okay, AB. Okay, the length, we also have to make sure that the length is the same. In that case, what we can simply do is, if we can do a simple check. If s dot length gh is not equal to t dot length, return false. Okay. Accepted. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, it's good. I think there has to be some better solutions. Immutable, right? Another solution. I think the other solution is going to be iterating S, and then and then checking if that element is present in T. We can definitely do that, and then if it is present, we are going to get that index and remove that specific character. character. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, shouldn't be that hard. Okay. Is solution number one. The other solution that I have is probably going to be something similar to this. See the solution. Iterate as, and then what do you call? What are we gonna do? For iteration, check if the character is present in T. If yes, then remove it. If no, then return false. What's that? So if s dot length not equal to t dot length, then I return false. Okay. Oh, the second question that I have is going to be what about the length? Does the length have to be the same? For example, if s is a and this is b, we can technically form the string s from t, right? But is it going to be considered an anagram? I don't think. Okay, the answer is no. It's not going to be considered an anagram. I'm just practicing. I'm just talking to myself at this point. But yeah, so but if that's the case, for each var v in s, okay, if t that contains v is equals to false, return false. Okay, but if it does contain, then t dot remove. And do t dot remove. What the fuck? What are you doing, dude? D. I want this t variable dot remove. V. D is equals to. Okay. Okay. So turn true. Okay. This is our second solution. What is this? What's wrong with this? Oh, I see. Yeah, this is the character, right? Mm. You know what? We're not gonna do this. pretty much the same as the previous one. I don't think this is even going to be better. I don't think it's better at all. But yeah, let's just do it. So why the fuck not? This is so much worse. Yeah, I'm happy with these. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, perfect. So we have submitted both of the codes. They're looking good. Do some. Let's check this one out. Given an array of integers, nums, and a target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. I see. Okay. You may assume that each input will have exactly one solution and may not use the same element twice. You can return any answer in order. I see. I see. I see. I see. Okay, so yeah, this one's quite simple as well. Literally fucking maps again, dude. This is maps. Why is the solution always maps, dude? Do some. Yeah, I even did this earlier. Yeah, makes sense. But this was in C plus. I want to do it in C sharp. What the fuck is this? What is abomination, man? Okay. Anyways, let's do this. Okay, so we have nums and targets. The first thing we want to do is we want to convert this into a dictionary. Nums, right? So we have this nums. We are going to be converting them into a dictionary. Int, and it's going to be map. And the solution that we are going to be looking for is going to be create map of nums iterate nums, and for each element subtract it from target. Come on. Target. Check if the subtracted value is in map. Okay, simple as that. So what's gonna happen is we are in nums, right? So we have a target that we are looking for. So we wanna int required is gonna be target minus v. Okay. We can do 2 iteration, or we can even do 1 iteration, I think. Yeah, we can even do it here if I'm not mistaken. Required if it contains key required, then return new int. And remember that we are gonna be returning this v comma required. Okay. If not, then we are gonna be adding it to the map. And I think we can assume that it's always Oh my gosh, what did I press? The fuck, dude. What is this? This is probably not gonna work. Because let's see, we have a bunch of numbers, right? We are iterating all of them. We're adding it to the map. We're checking. And we're also checking for the required number. So this might contain duplicates, but let's check this one out. Target is 9. Oh, the index. We have to, okay, we have to return the index. I see, not the map itself. Okay, so if that is the case for int I equals to 0, I is less than nums dot length plus plus. Okay, so we are gonna be iterating every single one. Required is gonna be target minus nums I. So what we're gonna do is if maps that contains key required. Oh, we also have to store the index. Fuck, I remember now. Contains required. Then return. We are gonna return the index, right? It's gonna be contains I, comma, and then the int map required. Perfect. Okay, so we are gonna be returning this. If it doesn't contain, then we are going to be adding it very top. Let's just do it map.add. The number that we are iterating currently, nums to the power I, and then the index. Map of number and its index in nums. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This one is probably not gonna work, but it should run some of the test cases successfully at the very least. You can see this one is successful. What do you mean? What do you mean it's wrong? Okay, so it expects the opposite, comma. Okay, so if we do this, we paste it here. Okay, case 2 is failing because the target is 6. So first we are iterating 3, Then we see that there's nothing in there. Then we have 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 4 is not there. Then we have 4. See that if it's required, is 2. 2 should have been there, dude. What the fuck? Huh? This is quite confusing. When we are at 4. Okay. Your map. We are wired. The so let's say our number is 3, 2, 4, right? So the first time we are iterating, we are at 3. So the required is going to be target minus 3. So target's going to be 6 minus 3. So it's going to be 6 minus 3, which is going to be 3. So do we have 3 in the map? No, we did not. So we are going to skip this and add it to our map. So our map is now going to contain 3 and 0. 0, okay? Now the second iteration, we are going to be iterating at 2. So it's going to be 6 minus 2. It's going to be 6, 5, 4. Do we have a 4 in there? Do we have a 4 in there? And his answer is going to be no. So we are adding a 4 in a, what do you call that? 2, 1, okay? Third iteration, it's gonna be 6 minus 4, 4, 5, 6, which is gonna be 2. Two, right? Or 6 minus 4 is equals to 2. So do we have 2 in there? This should have worked. Not sure why this did not work, but is there a possibility to debug? It doesn't support a debugger. Okay. If that's the case, then we are gonna have to create our own debugging function. Let's go to our main code. So okay. Do sum is equals to do sum. You do some small. Do sum, and then what we are gonna be returning is 3, 2, 4. We're gonna be returning 3, 2, 4, and then comma. Just set to 6. Add a debugger right here. Oh, we were supposed to select debug. Why can't I debug this shit, dude? Perfect. Okay, so the dictionary is going to be empty for now. Okay, we don't need this. Okay, so required is going to be our 3. It doesn't contain 3. We're going to add it to here. So our dictionary is now going to be 3 at index 0. It's going to be the required number is going to be 4. We don't have 4, so we're going to add 4 right here. And now two things to one and 2, right? So yeah, this should work. I don't know why it's not working. What the fuck? This one should have worked. Okay. Okay, now it's working. What the fuck? It's making any sense. Okay, yeah, so this is working.
Jerman watching has had a month.
Bra. Out of
I
the
saw her. I need long town movie.
So what is happening right here is we have the test and we're running this. So iterating contains key. Required is going to be done. It should. do some, right? Yeah. Okay. There is an iterate nums and check if it is a map. If it is, the number is a map, then return current index and required index value, which store number and its index in nums. Okay. If not present, then add the current num to the map along with index. After checking if similar key exists already. We'll never reach this since it's given that there will always be a solution. The reason we are doing map.add in the end is first, then we might duplicate. Might get through doing map.contains cases where current number is 4 and required number is also 4. So we would text. We would be returning 4, which is wrong. Okay, good shit. Okay. Sum is also done. What else are we missing? It's gonna be things duplicate. No, let's just have a map string. Okay, and then we can do Group anagram. This one is going to be the medium one, which I'm not going to be doing right now. I'm going to move to a different solution. We're going to do this. Should be doable, right? This way we can hide it. Group anagram and everything. Now, first, this was array and hashing. Quite fucking simple. The easy ones were super easy. Now, valid palindrome number, 2 pointers. I see. We have hard. We have sliding window. I don't know what sliding window means, but I guess it means something. Easy. Pretty easy array and hashing. Okay, good shit. Yeah, that was it for the stream. I coded for 1 hour. That's quite a lot of less time. Anyways, it was